All right, let's jump right in. We're talking about one of the biggest, oldest asset classes in the world, real estate. For literally centuries, all the value that property generates, we're talking rental income, it's been locked up, really only accessible to a handful of people. Today, we're going to look at how new tech is just smashing those walls to pieces.
I mean, just think about that for a second. What if you could get a cut of the monthly rent from a prime apartment building in, say, another city or even another country without any of the headaches? No mortgages, no late night maintenance calls, no finding tenants. This one single question is unlocking a totally new way to think about investing. And the scale here is, well, it's just staggering. Every single month, we're talking billions of dollars in rental income flowing around the globe. It is a massive, consistent river of cash flow. But until right now, that river was basically a private club. Well, that's all starting to change. So for the longest time, this is what we were all up against, the old wall of real estate. If you wanted a piece of that rental action, you had to be a property owner, plain and simple, or, a very well-connected local investor. The barriers, the sheer amount of capital, the geographic ties, the legal hoops, they were just way too high for most of us.
So how do you get over a wall that high? Well, you don't. You build a digital bridge right through it. And that's exactly where this new financial technology comes in. It's creating a direct pipeline between that real-world value, that monthly rent check, and a global network of anyone who wants to participate.
And this right here is the absolute key to how it all works. A rental property real-world asset, or RWA for short. Now, listen, here is the most important distinction. You are not tokenizing the building itself. You're tokenizing its income stream. Each one of these digital tokens represents a real, verifiable claim on a piece of the monthly rent that gets collected.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how does it actually work? How does cold, hard cash from a tenant's rent payment end up as digital yield in an investor's wallet halfway across the world? Let's break it down and actually follow the money step by step. So let's start with the property owner. Picture a building that's generating, say, $20,000 a month. The owner decides they want to raise some capital, so they tokenize a slice of that income. Let's call it 30%. That creates a pool of $6,000. Then, a small 2% management fee gets taken out, which leaves you with a final distributable pool of $5,880, all ready to be sent out to the token holders. Okay, so that's how the pool of money gets created on the owner's side of the fence. Now, let's flip the script. What does this look like for you, an individual investor who wants to tap into that income stream? Let's say you decide to put in $1,000. You could do this using a stablecoin like USDC, which is really just a digital dollar, to keep the whole thing fast and simple. That $1,000 buys you your proportional share of that $5,880 monthly income pool that we just created. So based on your share, that $1,000 investment would start earning you about $10 every single month. It's a direct piece of the rental income flowing right into your account consistently. You can take it as passive income, or you could even choose to automatically reinvest it and grow your stake over time.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Let's zoom out and look at the whole year. That $10 a month on your $1,000 investment, that translates to a yield of roughly 12% annually. Now, just for fun, put that number next to what you'd get in a traditional savings account. The difference is just, it's not even in the same league. And this is a steady yield, backed by a real physical asset that's generating income.
The engine that makes this whole thing run so smoothly is the smart contract. Think of them as automated, self-executing programs that just handle everything. They direct the flow of money, they deduct the fees automatically, and they distribute the yield to every single investor's wallet, on time, every time. There are no middlemen taking a big cut, and there are no weird administrative delays. It's all tracked transparently on the blockchain for literally anyone to see.
So you might be wondering, who really benefits from a model like this? And the beautiful part about this system is that it's designed from the ground up to be a true win-win. It creates this really powerful symbiotic relationship for both sides of the deal. For property owners, it's an absolute game changer. They can suddenly unlock liquidity and raise capital from their income stream without having to sell the building or take on more debt from a bank. And for investors, the benefits are just as clear. You get access to a stable, predictable yield that's backed by a tangible asset. And you can diversify into the real estate market with an amount of money that was basically impossible before. You know, when you step back and look at the big picture, This is so much more than just a new investment product. It really represents a fundamental shift, a change in our whole concept of what ownership even is and how we participate in the real economy. This quote right here, it just perfectly captures the entire transformation. We are moving from a world where a local physical asset could only be owned and profited from by local players to a new world where that exact same asset can be a source of value for anyone, anywhere on the planet. It is the democratization of commercial real estate income.
And that leaves us with this final, really fascinating question. We've just seen how rental income can be chopped up into tiny pieces and distributed globally. So, if you can do this with rent, what's next? What other real-world cash flows, from music royalties to infrastructure projects, are just waiting to be bridged into this new open financial system? The possibilities are, well, they're truly exciting.